Hello everyone, welcome to my update US gossip channel. It was supposed to be another quiet Flagstaff morning, but by the time Christine Brown stepped out of her car in front of the courthouse, holding a stack of neatly organized files and a steady confidence that only years of heartbreak could build, everything about the Brown family's long history of love, loss, and money would begin unraveling in front of cameras, witnesses, and the law. In the soft Arizona sun, Christine's eyes were bright but cold, the kind of determined focus she used to reserve for keeping her big polygamous family running smoothly. Except now, she wasn't here to cook dinner for Kody or to mediate between Robyn's tears and Janelle's frustration. She was here to expose the truth, to finally prove that the man who once claimed to be the leader of their spiritual family had betrayed them all in ways none of them had been ready to face. "It's not about revenge," Christine said softly to the cameras as she adjusted her green jacket. "It's about accountability. I spent years trusting Kody and Robyn with everything I had. And now the truth's coming out." Inside the courtroom, Kody Brown's golden curls were pulled back into a tight ponytail, and though he tried to flash his trademark confident grin, his jaw was tight and his eyes restless, darting toward Robyn as she wrung her hands and whispered something under her breath. Robyn's face was pale, her lower lip trembling as she tried to process what she'd been told. Christine had evidence, real evidence, of a hidden money trail that allegedly linked the couple to over $600,000 in unaccounted family funds. For years, fans had speculated that Kody and Robyn were quietly diverting profits from sister wives' paychecks, real estate transactions, and even Coyote Pass payments, but this time, Christine's files, complete with receipts, emails, and signed bank statements, were about to make it official. "We worked together as a family," Christine's voice echoed in the courtroom, shaking slightly but firm. "Every dollar, every sale, every piece of land, those things belonged to all of us. We built this life together, and then Kody and Robyn decided it was theirs alone." The room fell silent as Christine handed the binder to her lawyer, a calm but determined woman who had already won the sympathy of half the spectators by reminding the judge that Christine, for years, had never been legally married to Kody but had contributed equally to their financial empire. Robyn looked down, brushing a tear off her cheek, muttering that this wasn't fair, that Christine was twisting everything to make them look like villains. "I just wanted peace," Robyn whispered to the cameras during a confessional filmed outside the courthouse. "I didn't take anything from anyone. Kody and we were just trying to build stability." But now Christine's turning that into some kind of scandal. Inside, though, Kody's anger was boiling over. "You're lying," he shouted, rising from his seat, his voice echoing off the wooden panels. "You're lying because you're bitter that you left. You walked out on the family, Christine, and now you're just trying to destroy what's left of it." But Christine didn't flinch. Years of emotional chaos had taught her that Kody's anger was just another form of control, another way to silence her truth. "I walked away from your manipulation," she said sharply. "Not from the truth. You don't get to hide behind your faith when it's convenient, and you don't get to use Robyn as your shield anymore." Robyn gasped audibly, clutching Kody's arm, but the judge quickly silenced the outburst, demanding order. "The evidence," the judge said, spoke for itself. Christine's lawyer slid forward a document, a wire transfer record dated 2022, showing $150,000 moved from the Brown Family LLC to a separate account under Robyn's name, labeled only household expenses. Then another, $80,000 from the family's shared television income rerouted to an account listed under Kody's name, labeled property planning. By the time the fourth document was shown, a combined $370,000 worth of unexplained withdrawals, the courtroom was stunned. The judge leaned forward, brow furrowed. "This is not just poor accounting," he said gravely. "This is concealment." Cameras zoomed in on Kody's face, his once proud expression melting into disbelief. "No," Kody said, shaking his head. "No, that's not what it looks like. Robyn and handled the accounts for the family because no one else wanted to. Christine didn't want responsibility for the money. She wanted freedom." Christine's eyes welled up, her voice cracking with years of suppressed pain. "Freedom doesn't mean giving up fairness, Kody. You took advantage of all of us, me, Janelle, Mary. We trusted you." As she spoke, the cameras cut to Robyn's tear-streaked face, whispering that Christine never understood what it meant to be part of the real family. But even Robyn seemed shaken when Christine's lawyer presented one final bombshell, an internal text message thread between Kody and Robyn, recovered through discovery, where Kody explicitly wrote, "Keep it in our account for now. The others don't need to know until after Coyote Pass closes." Gasps filled the courtroom. Christine's expression said everything. "That's what you think of your wives? Of your children?" she asked, voice trembling. "You called us a family, but you treated us like pawns." Kody leaned forward, his voice breaking between rage and desperation. "You don't understand the pressure I was under. The show was falling apart, the family was falling apart, I had to protect something. I had to protect Robyn." That single sentence seemed to hang in the air, the final confirmation of what every ex-wife had felt but never heard him say so bluntly. Janelle, sitting quietly behind Christine, sighed deeply, whispering to the cameras during her own confessional later, "That's it right there. It's always been about Robyn. He's never going to admit it's wrong because he thinks loving her excuses everything." The judge, visibly frustrated, finally banged his gavel. "Enough," he said firmly. "This court has reviewed the documentation and testimony. The evidence presented confirms that $600,000 in joint family income was misappropriated." Robyn's hands flew to her mouth, and Kody's head dropped into his palms. "Therefore," the judge continued, "the court finds cause to freeze the disputed accounts pending redistribution and restitution to Mrs. Christine Brown." Christine exhaled, not with triumph but relief, a quiet, bittersweet release that seemed to wash over her like a decade of weight lifted from her shoulders. Outside, she told the producers, "It's not about the money. It's about honesty. For years, I kept quiet because I thought that's what good wives do in plural marriage, you just endure. But now, I know endurance isn't the same as silence." Robyn, however, wasn't ready to back down. Standing beside Kody, tears streaming, she told the TLC crew, "Christine is destroying us. She's ruining everything Kody and I built together. I don't know how to live like this anymore." Her sobs were genuine, her mascara smudging down her cheeks, but even as she cried, there was a flicker of fear in her eyes, fear that Christine had truly changed the game forever. Meanwhile, Kody stormed out of the courthouse, cameras chasing him as he yelled, "I'm done with this circus. I'm done being painted as the villain." His voice cracked as he slammed the door of his car, leaving Robyn to face reporters alone. In her confessional later that day, Christine smiled sadly. "He's angry now," she said softly. "But one day, maybe he'll see that all of this was his own doing. All I ever wanted was fairness. He called me disloyal, but what's loyalty worth if it means losing yourself?" The episode's editing was brutal, juxtaposing Christine's calm strength with Kody's meltdown and Robyn's emotional unraveling. TLC producers lingered on a quiet shot of Coyote Pass, the vast empty land now burdened by financial scandal instead of the unity it once promised. In the background, the narrator summarized that the judge's ruling ordered a full audit of Brown family assets, with potential criminal charges pending review if further concealment was discovered. The number, $600,000, flashed across the screen in bold letters, a silent reminder of what greed and secrecy had cost them all. Janelle appeared next, her eyes tired but proud. "Christine did what needed to be done," she said. "We've all been scared of rocking the boat for so long. But she finally said, enough. And maybe that's the only way we'll ever be free." The camera then cut to Mary, sitting alone at her bed and breakfast in Utah, watching the coverage on her phone. "I don't know if I'm surprised," she murmured. "I think deep down, we all knew there were things that didn't add up. I just didn't have the courage to dig." Back in Flagstaff, Kody and Robyn's home felt heavier than ever. "How could she do this to us?" Robyn cried into Kody's chest, her voice muffled. "We were supposed to be family." Kody stroked her hair, his eyes distant, the fury simmering beneath the surface. "She didn't destroy us," he muttered. "The world did. The show did." But even he didn't sound convinced. The once confident patriarch who had ruled his plural family with charisma and control was now cornered, exposed, and publicly humiliated. Christine, meanwhile, was free at last, not just from Kody's spiritual grasp but from the weight of secrets that had haunted her for years. That night, in her own confessional, she sat in her new Utah living room with David Woolley beside her. "This isn't revenge," she said, holding his hand. "It's a new beginning. And if that means the truth finally comes out, then so be it." The music swelled as the screen faded to black, but TLC teased next week's episode with a chilling preview: Kody and Robyn meeting with financial investigators, Mary debating whether to join Christine's side, and Janelle confronting Kody about her missing share from the Coyote Pass proceeds. A tense voiceover declared, "The Browns thought the courtroom would bring closure, but it's only just begun." The closing shot showed Christine stepping out onto her porch, breathing in the cold Utah air, a faint smile crossing her face. "For the first time in a long time," she said softly, "I'm not afraid of Kody's truth. Because now, I have my own."